Hi everyone, Sarah here from the Paper Cut. We're still a little messed up on. If you were with us on Saturday, we had like some major sound issues. Still thinking we're having sound issues because you can hear us when we're on our black screen. You know, we're normally we can talk. Now you can hear us, so we had to be really quiet. So you might have heard us whispering. So anyways, I can see me. Let's see on my phone if I can hear me without any echoes. You know, we're normally we can talk. Now. Oh. Yep, it sounds good. Okay, so welcome to our Thursday night live. We're here. We're going to be looking at one of the classes, and I don't have both of the cards. I don't have two of the cards because two of them are getting kitted. So, and that's okay. So we are going to be looking at the Impression Obsession holiday stencil class tonight. That's a mouthful. So we'll get down to that. But just first of all, our warehouse sale classes are live, so you can register for them now. There is a box that says in person. So if you're not coming to Appleton, Wisconsin, don't click that box because otherwise we'll think you're coming. But if you are coming, click that box. There's a bunch of choices. And we are sold out for the cards in person class on Friday. We do have a Saturday one too. So the in-person classes are September 16th. The sale in person is the 17th. And then we have our virtual that is the 19th through the 23rd. So the two classes that we're doing in-house, cards, and our fun folds and interactive cards, those two are also done virtually the next week, along with two more. One where I'm featuring Rubbernecker and one where I'm featuring Impression Obsession. The Fun Fold and Interactive one, which I'm going to show you one of those cards too, that one is a two-part class because otherwise it would get too long. Our Friday night class for cards is going to be long enough. So we're going to break that one up into two. So anyways, let's go down to the table.
Linda Weiss is having some technical issues. Is anyone else having any trouble?
Oh, Linda, I'm having some technical, maybe she might be having technical issues of her own. I don't know that.
Okay.
Yep. Anyways, Linda is from Valley Stamp and Scrap. So
okay.
I asked her to be on tonight because she introduced me to the Stencil Butters. Actually, I've seen, these are the Stencil Butters, the jars of them, but I've seen Ken Oliver do them on the One of a Kind, and then Linda does them a lot. So when I was planning the stencil classes, and these are Impression Obsession stencils, and these two stencils come with the class kit. When I was planning that, I was like, well, I could do brush blending, but I always do brush blending, you know, and I'm super comfortable. Oh, Linda resolved her issues. Anyways, I'm super comfortable with brush blending, but I thought I'm going to step out of my comfort zone. I'm going to add in a different medium. So I decided to add in the Stencil Butters. Hence, I went to Valley Stamp and Scrap. Linda and I played around with them. And then I started designing. So, brush blend, and this one isn't even brush blended. This one is Stencil Butters. But you can brush blend this. So in the class, actually, hang on one second. I have to get the other sample card. Hang on, I'm still here with you.
She's here with us, but she's in the other room now, so anybody got a joke?
And I'm coming back.
Oh, she's back. We can't talk about it.
So, anyways, so for this one, so anyways, you get these two stencils, the poinsettia. I don't have the poinsettia cards, and they're beautiful. Linda has seen them, and they're being kitted right now. So anyways, this one is brush blended, okay? This one is with Stencil Butters. Just in case you don't want to go down the stencil butter road, because you might get addicted to it if you do. But anyways, in this kit, you'll also get a white top. So you can brush blend both of them, but the Stencil Butters are really fun. So I had started and Linda and I were playing around, and we just used a sponge, which I'll get to it, and just tapped it on there. And it gives you a little bit modelly look. You can kind of feel that it's a little bit raised. But then I did another one that I did more solid, and you can really see the shine of the Stencil Butters on the white. Okay, so yeah, they're shiny. They're more shiny when you put them on solid than they are if you just sponge them on. But we talked about sponging them on just because in class it's going to be the dry time is going to be a lot quicker. But then I started playing around. That led me to this one, which I have them on a little bit thicker and on a dark cardstock. So anyways, let's go. So those are the two winter wishes. They're very similar, but this one is done with Stencil Butters. This one's done with brush blending. So we'll do both of them in class. But if you want to brush blend both, you'll get an extra white top to put on this one. So anyways, let's go. And I'm just going to play around a little bit to begin with. And this one I didn't actually play around with anymore, but I just want to do some different dark stocks. And I thought I brought a purple in here. Hang on, I'm leaving again. Right before I was doing this, I was mowing the lawn. And yeah, that threw me off a little bit along with the blister on the back of my foot. So I do like to hold them down. I mean, you can just hold them down, but I've been using removable tape or washi tape or Scotch tape to hold them down. So you can do any or all of the above. And in class, Linda and I took the turquoise and we mixed it with some white to make it a little bit lighter. You can use just the turquoise, or that's what we did. We mixed the two together. But tonight I think I'm just going to mess with the turquoise. So Linda has a fancy dancy like little spatula thing. I don't. Actually, I had like a butter knife or a little knife here so I could pull some out. Or you can take a sponge and you can actually reach right in the thing. So it is kind of thick. It's like the consistency of soft butter, okay? So you can pull a little bit out with a sponge. And I am by no means an expert. I've only been working with this for like a few days. So Linda's on. She can answer questions. Cheryl is actually posted on our, does the stencil butter come with the applicator? I don't think it comes with the applicator. This is one from the Nuvo drops. So you're going to want to have like a sponge, one of those yellow sponges. It doesn't come with this. This is from a different container.
Or does Valley Stamp and Scrap carry those also?
Valley Stamp and Scrap doesn't carry these.
Okay.
But they carry the yellow sponges.
Okay.
So anyways, you can tap it, or what I liked a little bit better to get it a little bit thicker was dragging it across like that.
Linda says plastic knife is just as good
Yeah.
as a fancy palette knife.
Yeah, so I've got my plastic knife, but I also wanted something, and I grabbed a putty knife too. And I haven't used the putty knife yet. Now, if I was at home, I'd probably have a spatula out. So I'm just going to go tappy tap down here so you can see the little bit of a difference. But up here I did put it on a little bit thicker, and I'm going to pull out my knife and put it on really thick up on the top.
I've got lots of those fancy plastic knives from Tom's Drive-In when I when I didn't have a kitchen. I was eating fast food a lot.
So yeah, the serrated leaves like little lines in it, but anyways. So you can put it on a little bit thicker that way, but it's not going to dry as fast. And you can dry it with a heat tool. If you dry it too much it kind of bubbles up with a heat tool. So hang on, let me take the stencil off so then you can get a view of that. So look at how pretty those are. Now these still show up, but they're a little bit subtler. But these actually have some depth to them. So I'm not going to rub on them.
Mary Beth says, if we want to use the Stencil Butters for the class, do we need to purchase?
Okay, so the Stencil Butters for the class. Yes, you do need to purchase them. Valley Stamp and Scrap has a link, and I did put that in the...
Yeah, she's got the link up.
Oh, she's got the link up. I did put it in the class description for the... I put it in the product description for the Impression Obsession Holiday Stencil Card class. So yes, I'm using 4 of them. Which
Turquoise, Barn Door, Pearl White, and Crimson.
Yes.
Right. Thank
Those
you,
are the
Linda.
2 on the tree card. If you don't, like this one I'm going to mix to lighten my blue up a little bit. It matches, if I lighten it, it matches the card base better. Or you can just leave it darker. This one is lightened a little bit. But it's up to you. The white is strictly for doing this, but you can use the white for other stuff. I'm going to use the white for some stars tonight. And then for the poinsettia, I used the crimson and the barn door. So anyways, you can heat these and they will bubble up a little bit.
Jeez, I thought
So-
my phone was going off.
What?
I thought my phone was going off.
Oh, no. So you can heat, they do dry pretty quick. Especially if you're just using a sponge, they dry pretty quick. But otherwise, even if we drag it across, we can use a heat tool to dry it. Now, you can let these dry, or if you heat them, you can see that they'll puff up. They're kind of like puff.
It's like rubbing the butter gives it
Yeah, now I don't know if they stay puffed up. That's a question for Linda. But they do puff up if you heat them. So I'm not going to heat them all the way. I'm going to go on to a different color. But anyways, so yeah, you cannot do this with ink pads on dark cardstocks. But the Stencil Butters are more opaque, so they really stand out on the dark cardstocks. So let's go. I did find, you know, besides the ones that I just got from Impression Obsession. Oh, will you go give me some paper towel, please?
Sure.
Okay. I did find a stencil that I actually had in my possession. I don't have that many stencils. So anyways, I have this star one. And we're going to pull out, this is actually let's do some red. This is actually the top of the poinsettia card. Now the poinsettia, this is Stencil Butter, and it's on the cream. So in class, we'll do brush blending on the cream. It's the opal metallic, but you can't get it this bright, okay? But,
Did you want some on a roll?
no, I'm good.
Okay.
But anyways, then on the Stencil Butter one, we're going to do it on the antique. Now you get an extra piece of this stock in the antique kit, just in case you're going to brush blend instead of, and I do not have, I just wanted to show you something in red. So I don't have, besides my star stencil, I just took this die cut and I'm just going to use this. But then we're going to go on to the stars that I'm actually going to make a card. So now I just took this just to improvise, showing you the red on the gold. My stars I'm going to do white on the gold. So this is not an actual stencil, this is just a die cut. But I'm just using it just to show you how the red is on the gold. Again, with this one, I am going to more tap it rather than drag it across because it's not a stencil and the paper might not be as sturdy as stencil material. But in class with the poinsettia, oh, I did do this across it on my sample. But I just want to show you how pretty the red is on the gold, because you can't brush blend a nice deep red on a gold cardstock. So again, we can do just the stippling, you know, with your sponge, or we can drag it across, or you can take your knife if you want to get it thicker.
Does the stencil need to be cleaned right away so the butter does not dry on it?
It does not, because I let it dry on it, and then I just took it and I ran it underneath the faucet. So water does take it off even after it's dry. And another example is I have my glass mat here, and it dried on there for a couple hours because I forgot about it, and I went and I took it underneath the sink and it came off. Okay, so now let's peel this up. Again, it's not a stencil. See, the red is really pretty on the gold, especially if you can get it a little bit thicker than I did just now. But yeah, there's the red on the gold. So we'll do that with the poinsettia. And I did drag it across the poinsettia, so I did put it on a little bit thicker, and I used a combination of the two colors. So this class, you might get messy fingers, and that's okay, because that just means you're having fun.
I'm having fun over here. I don't know what I did. But...
So let me pull out some baby wipes and see if I can get that a little bit cleaner. And then I'm going to move on to my stars with the white. Yeah, see that just, it is dry, or almost dry right there, and it comes pretty close to off. And yeah, my blue is dry. And it comes off. So yeah, it's fairly washable. Because I'm just using baby wipes and it's coming off. Okay, so we're going to go on to the star stencil that I have. So yeah, if you ordered the virtual all-in bundle, we are doing a class. Half of the cards will be with the stencil butter and half will be with brush blending. If you want to play with the stencil butters, so you can order those through Valley Stamp and Scrap. She just ordered them today, but you don't need them until September 19th. So her website might say that they're out of stock. And refresh me, Linda, I think it will tell people that it will notify them when it's back in stock, which she should have them fairly quick. She might be able to chime in and say approximately when they'll be in. So let me get my tape. Oh, here it is. So yes, even if her website says they're out of stock, I know she just ordered them. They should be in soon. She'll have them in plenty of time for the class. And the link that she gave you goes right to a collection with all 4 of these colors. Now there are more colors. I think there's somewhere in the high teens of colors. Okay, so now we're going on to the white, and now I'm on the antique cardstock, which is also the same one that we are using in class, but I'm using white. Again, I can just pounce it. It's going to dry quicker that way, but if I want it on a little bit thicker, I can drag it, or I can take my knife, which I think I'm going to do because I want my stars. I might do a couple of them, so let's just do this one. I won't heat it. We'll just let it dry and see how long it takes to dry. But I am going to try and do a little bit thicker on here. But yeah, if you want to play with the stencil butters, get those for the cards. But there will be tops in there that you can brush blend, all of them. On the page that shows the cards, it does show both the brush blended and the stencil butter one. So there's my white stars. I'm going to set that aside.
Linda says go ahead and order now, and they'll ship as soon as they arrive next week.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Oh, I thought I had another one.
Ooh. So
let's go. I'm just going to do this brown one really quick, and I'm going to do this one a little bit. Actually, hold the phone. Linda and I were talking about this morning, so we're going to see if it works. Because I'm a go for it kind of gal. You guys know that. I do have this one other stencil. And this one I'm going to try. This is with the Miri Lava. And I did try it a little bit, and it did kind of work, but I want to try something else. Okay, so that's the black Miri Lava and my spider web. So I know you can pounce on there. Once you drag it across, see how it comes off? So you pounce on there and you can get your white on there. But I'm wondering, see if I drag it, it just kind of wipes the color right off. But I'm wondering if we can take our knife and put it on thicker onto the lava or the mirror card, or this is going to have some dry time. Maybe I should get my bigger putty knife out. So I'll have to let this one dry. I'm not going to heat dry this one. I'm going to let this one dry and then I'll make a card out of it. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty 3D. I think it's going to be very fun. So yeah, a putty knife works good too. There was Cheryl on our fan page. She posted a wedding card that was gold with a white background, and I asked her what it was, and she said it was Stencil Butters. So she is the other one that made me go, huh, maybe we can do that with the stencils for the warehouse sale class. Ooh, look at that. Isn't that very fun?
Yikes, that's a spooky web.
So I am just going to let that one dry and I'll make a card out of it. Maybe I'll do that next week. But yeah, that's, so you can, with the Miri Lava, you can pounce on it. You can't drag your sponge across it because you drag it right off, but you can apply it with a palette knife or a butter knife or a putty knife. So yeah, I'm going to set that aside because that's going to take a little bit to dry. We'll revisit that and we'll check on it next week. Let me clean my surface off so I can get to my card making. So yeah, have some baby wipes handy for that class. And a cleaner work surface than I have. Because I'm having a hard time finding places to put stuff. Okay. All right, so now we have our stars. I am just going to heat because I think they look a little bit wet right here, so I'm just going to lightly heat them to dry them, just so I can get onto my card making. Yeah, being messy means you're having fun. Kind of one of those things with when you have ink and you don't want to touch it to see if it's wet because you don't want to smudge it, except I know I'm going to put a strip across it, so I'm just going to check it right in the middle where I know that I am putting a strip. And if I happen to check one, see they're dry, if I happen to check one that's lower, then I would just move my strip. See how I roll with that? Okay, so I pulled out a scored card. This is our Cuba Libre, and I did cut some layers of gold mirror card and white, because the white then coordinates with the white stars. So let's put those layers on there. Well, let me make sure I haven't cut the right size before I actually put tape on them. So yeah, the Stencil Butters, I thought I gotta get out of my comfort zone of the brush blending and move on to something else, or try something else. So I did. So you should too. Then we can play and get messy together. They're probably not even that messy once you've done them a bunch.
Oh, those grandkids would like this.
And we're going to put our stars on top of there. Okay, and then I cut some angels, or I cut a strip.
Thanks, Nancy. That's good. Her father-in-law gave her, Nancy YB, her father-in-law gave her a sign that says, "A creative mess is better than tidy idleness."
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we have our angels. These angels are die cuts from Impression Obsession. So yeah, those work. I like those. I didn't have it totally planned out, like normal. So you guys wouldn't know what to do if I had it totally planned out. Now I do have my word piece that I haven't decided yet, so I cut a few different ones. I think I'm going to do that one in the gold. Yeah, I think that works. So hang on, let's attach these guys, or these gals, my angels. Oops, I put that all the way to the end. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, bummer. Oh well. No, yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, so my foam tape. So yeah, the Stencil Butters work really, I really like them on the darker stocks, because that's one thing that you cannot do with your brush blending. And I've had a really hard time getting a nice red when I brush blend. It either turns pink, it just doesn't give me a nice deep red like that, or like that. And there might be other mediums out there, other pastes and stuff, so if you have something else that will work, that's fine too. You just want to get out your stuff and play with it. So, and then let's get our angels. So the angels I did die cut in the brushed gold mirror card. And the word peace I die cut in that also.
Are you starting earlier now? I thought you went live at 6:30.
No, I always go live at 6. Always at 6 o'clock. Actually, we've been doing this now for almost a whole year, and we haven't missed one. So I'm pretty happy about that. During the sale, we will go live at 6 o'clock, but we will start out with talking about the flash sale items for the day. So class during the virtual sale will start probably at about 6:15, because we'll start just talking about we'll start out with talking about flash sale items and showing a little preview of those. We always go through, checking out and shipping and all of that. We talk about probably almost every single day, just in case somebody misses something. So now let me find my micro dot adhesive, which is here somewhere. Jeez. Okay. So yeah, and that will be every day of the week. So that week we'll start out Monday, and it'll be the first half of our fun fold and interactive cards. Oh, I was going to show you one of those too. So hang on, I do have that right here.
So the week of this virtual sale.
The week of the virtual sale, the 19th through the 23rd.
And then what's going to happen then?
We'll start out talking about the flash sale items right at 6 o'clock. And then class will probably start at about 6:15. All right, so there is our card that we made with our Stencil Butters. In our holiday stencil class with Impression Obsession, we'll be using our 2 stencils, which I had here, the poinsettia. And I'm not going to pull out the tree because it's kind of all mucked up. But our 4 colors that we're using, because we use a combination of the crimson and the barn door, and we just put more crimson around the middle of it, or more barn door around the middle of it. So those will both be on the poinsettia, and then the turquoise and the pearl white will be on the tree card. And you will need some type of sponge. If you want to use some type of applicator, you can pull out just a knife if you want to put it on a little bit thicker. So yeah, that's what we will be doing for our Impression Obsession holiday stencil class, which will be on Tuesday of that week. Anyways, I started to talk about my interactive class. This is a peekaboo shutter card. So this is one of the cards during that fun fold and interactive class, which will be a 2-part class. We'll do 2 cards on one night, 2 cards on the next night. So yeah. So anyways, hope you can join us, and we will see you next week. Bye guys.